Hi guys, this is future Ashley. Essentially what I'm saying is I'm sorry for the length of the video. I'm sorry that I did not look into pronunciation guides of the characters because I really should have done that. And I will in future kind of figure out how to be better at this stuff, please. Also, just to kind of clarify, spoilers ahead. If you don't want to be spoiled, I say this multiple times in the video, please don't watch it. Even if you want to support me, I don't care. Yeah. Not all of the videos are going to be this long. I can't be dealing with editing videos this long again. But yeah. Thanks, guys. Bye. Hi. So I am doing a new vlog. If you do not know me, my name is Ashley. You may know me as Smashley. You may not know me at all. That's totally fine too. And I am doing a reading things. I don't know what I'm calling this. Basically, at the end of this month, today is the 20th of August, and on the 31st of August, I go and see R F Kuang discuss a very, very beautiful book. Look at it. I got it today. I'm so happy. I'm so excited to read it. Yeah, but this is Babel, whatever you want to call it, by R F Kuang. R F Kuang. I've heard nothing but good things about this. I've heard some amazing things, mainly from Chloe, if you know her, at Persistent Bookworm. She has raved non-stop about this book, and she has really made me excited for reading it. So yeah, I got that today. I need to read that. But I also have a couple of other books by her that I need to read, so I'm going to show you this. I also have the Poppy Wall books. I have recently reread The Poppy Wall, so I'm not going to be rereading this for obvious reasons. It's very chunky. Also, I have the beautiful sprayed edge ones from Illumicrate. They are absolutely stunning. I don't know how I got these. I don't know how I managed, but I'm so happy. But yeah, so I am currently reading The Dragon Republic. I am roughly this far into it, I think. I don't read these copies because they are too pretty, and I refuse to damage them. So I have copies on my Kindle, which I read on my phone, which I am currently filming on. But yeah, I think I'm like 274 pages into it. It is a book of 660 pages. So I have a lot to read. It is a reread, so I'm kind of going a bit skim reading it a bit because I haven't got the time to finish this book. I started it on Thursday, I think. And yeah, so I do not have the time. I started on Wednesday. Because I had 2 weeks to read it. So I need to read this. So about 300 pages of this, 400 pages of this, about 400 pages of this to read. And then I need to read the entirety of The Burning God, also still absolutely stunning. And this is, don't get spoiled, 620 pages. So 620 pages of this, 400 pages more or less, just shy of 400 pages of that. So that's 1,000 pages. And this is 540 pages. So I don't know how I'm going to do this. I'm just gonna have to try. But yeah, I'm very, very excited for Babel. I'm very excited for The Burning God. I've been wanting to read this for months, but when it came out on Kindle, because I had it in hardback, I didn't want to read the hardback, and I didn't want to spend £8 odd, however much it was, on Kindle when I'd already owned it. So I waited for it to drop in price, and it didn't drop in price until about a year later. So I finally got it, and then I just haven't read it. So I'm going to read that this month in the next couple of days. So yeah, I'm going to be filming some clips of that. I'm going to be filming some, how pretty is this cover, this copy? I'm so fortunate. I'm going to be reading these I still have to do some writing because I'm still into my writing, and I've got to work full time. My next days off are when I go down to York to see R F Kuang. I will probably take some footage, not loads, because I don't like filming. I don't like filming myself, never mind filming out in public, but I will try and take some like clips, and if I don't, I will take some video, because yeah. But yeah, I don't really know what Babbel's about. I know it's about Oxford University. I know it is dark academia, and I know it is to do with fantasy. Apart from that, I've gone in quite blind, which I'm very excited about, I'm not gonna lie. Dragon Republic is a reread for me, so I'm reading it a bit quicker. This one follows like the war and the aftermath of the war, which is really well done. I mean, R F Kuang is an amazing writer. She does this really nice balance of really, really funny, witty lines with absolute horror of what's happening. And it's so good. I absolutely adore her writing. The first one was amazing. The second one was amazing. I need to read The Burning God. And yeah, so I'm spending the day doing that. So I am going to go and do some reading, and then I will try and give an update of how much I've read at a bit of a later date. Most of my updates about Dragon Republic probably aren't going to be that in-depth, because I'm not reading it as in-depth. I'm just trying to like remind myself of the story. But when I get to The Burning God, I will start to kind of put reactions up. I'm most likely going to cry. I cry at every book. And I'm going to say this now. Spoilers ahead. Please don't. If you're watching this to support me, great. If you've not read them, please go away. Please go away. I don't want to spoil anyone. But yeah, I have 12 days to finish all of these pages. Let's try. I thought I will sit and film some B-roll of me reading The Dragon Republic. Might as well. I did not expect to have to film an update. I'm so angry at this book. In R F Kuang does it in such a beautiful way, and it's nothing against her at all. In fact, I appreciate the highlights. But Rin is currently being studied by, I think it's the Hesperians. Yeah, the Hesperians, who are basically the white men, and the white women as well. And Rin is being studied by Sister Petra, who's studying her magic and studying her connection with the god, which is fine. That's fine. Like, I understand that. But I forgot just how bad this book got. Because Petra just stood there and shows information of like the shape of your eye means that you can't see as much as us because you have limited peripheral vision. So it indicates lazy character. That's racist. Sallow skin because they're yellow means that they are malnourished, and it's like, no, just and I appreciate that this is historically accurate. I just fucking hate how we were. Like, we are awful humans. Like, it annoys me so much. And the fact that, like, she's like, oh yeah, your brains, we know it to be an indicator of your rational capacity and by nature smaller. And it's like, I just don't like it. It makes me angry because it's such bullshit, and it's such stupid thinking, and I just hate the fact that white people as a race are still like that in some aspects. Not as bad now, I hope, but I'm not saying that we're anywhere near good, because we're not. But I do just sit here and go, I hate who we were and I hate what we've done. Yeah, not much else to say really. I always say that if you can piss me off in a book because you are writing about racism in a way that you are not condoning it, obviously R F Kuang isn't, because she is Chinese and it is based on Chinese culture. Just angry, okay? I'm just really angry, but I genuinely think that R F Kuang does it so well, in the way that, because you are reading from Rin's perspective, you kind of sit there and you go, this is absolute bullshit. And how dare they have the audacity, and how did we dare? Like, I hate us. I really do. I just think, ugh. But yeah, this was not supposed to be an update, but it is. So I'm going to read a bit more. Hopefully more than 5 pages before I get my next update. Hi there. You might be able to hear rain. It is a perfect reading moment at the moment. I love a good rumbly rain while I'm reading, and I'm just like happy in my little book nook. So I have read a bit more of the Dragon Republic. We are up to Rin and Kate's twinning, which is always fun. I will say this, it's the only reason I kind of came on. I love the fact that R F Kuang just decided, do you know what, fuck it. Rin's gonna be awful. She's just such a character, and the fact that like she genuinely doesn't care is just beautiful. I love it so much. I think the fact she's swearing, she's like, oh fuck you, like I love it. It's one of my favorite things. But yeah, so I've read a lot actually. I've read, I can't remember where I was up to. I think I was at 274 last time I spoke, and I'm now up to 415 pages. So I've read a lot. And yeah, there's a lot I forgot. I forgot that there was the twinning going on. But it's cute. I like the fact that like you see this broken down relationship between Rin and Kate at the start, and he's kind of started to come and realize, like, you know, for the good of the war, I've got to do what I've got to do. I don't really have a lot more else to say, if I'm being perfectly honest. Like, this is a reread, so I don't expect to have that many updates, but I think the way that R F Kuang, the way she writes and the way she crafts a story is so beautifully done. And yeah, I'm really enjoying this reread, and now that I'm actually in it, I'm definitely really enjoying it. So I'm hoping to get to about 450 pages today. It is only 5 to 7, so it's still quite early. I've had dinner. I made some pasta. That was tasty. I've got my little book nook. I'm going to have a bath because I love a bath. And I'm going to sit, I think I'm going to face this way, and I've got a nice homemade blanket that I'm going to like wrap up cozy and warm in. I need to make more of these because they are beautiful, and I want one for downstairs. Hi guys, it is Monday. I don't know if I updated yesterday. If I did, you will have seen the clip already, but I read the last of the Dragon Republic yesterday and I really, really enjoyed it. I forgot that Rin got severely injured at the end of the book. That was fun to reread. I remembered that she got betrayed, and I remembered what happened there. I just completely forgot that to escape they had to break her hand. And yeah, that was fun. So I read that. I gave it 5 stars. I'm very, very happy that I reread it. I then started reading Babel and The Burning God today. I read The Burning God on my phone, and I read Babel physically because obviously it's not out technically yet. I read about 21 pages of Babel, and I'm already really, really curious about what's going on. It's very, very interesting. I'm very curious to see where it goes. It should be interesting. And I read about 61 pages of The Burning God. I already adore one of the characters that has been brought in. I can't remember the name of him for the life of me, but it is the rebel leader. He is so funny. He keeps on calling Rin Princess, and I'm like, you're going to get the shit ripped out of you. She's going to literally just absolutely decimate you. It's very, very funny to watch. But I've read that. If something's about to go down, she's going to kill someone to assume power, I'm assuming. There's not a lot happening. I mean, there is, but that's because there's a lot goes on in these books. But yeah, I'm very curious what Babel has in store, and I'm very, very curious as to how The Burning God's going to end, because I love her writing. I adore R F Kuang's writing. There is this really, really amazing way that she matches. It's interesting because she has this way of writing about ridiculously serious topics and writing them amazingly well, but then being able to have these really, really funny, really real moments between her characters. And I really, really enjoy that. And you can always tell just how invested she is in the worlds and not even in the worlds, but in the history that her worlds are based on. There's a forward in Babel that is literally here is all of the information that I've gone through, and as a scholar I really wanted to make sure it was good, but remember, if there is something wrong with it, it's fiction. And I'm like, you could have told me that there is a giant clown living in the Tower of Babel in Oxford or whatever, and I would just be like, yeah, no, cool, I don't know anything about it, that sounds about right. But the way she kind of ensures that everything is on point it's such a nice feeling, and it's so interesting. Sorry, my wire keeps on going in my tea. And I mean tea like food, not tea as in drinkable tea, because I don't drink tea. But yeah, so I have a battle plan for Babel and the Burning God, and the battle plan is I have to read about 110 pages a day, including Wednesday, to finish the books in time. Now, Wednesday I'm not going to have a lot of time, because obviously Wednesday is the day that I'm going down to York to see R F Kuang, and I'm going to want to go and explore York because York's beautiful, and I don't get to go down to York very often. I haven't been to York since about 2017, I think. So I want to go and have a little explore, and I want to go and see the York ghosties, and I want to go to this place and that place. So yes, I'm going to have lunch and stuff like that down York, so I will have time to read, but I don't want to have too much time to read. So I'm going to hopefully finish reading it, or reading the majority of both books, by Tuesday. Monday I do have off because it is a bank holiday, which is nice. So I've got that. I'm at a christening on Sunday. I have rehearsals twice this week. And at some point I need to dye my hair because I decided I was going to dye it for my friend's wedding, which is on the 6th of September. And that was fine. And then I remembered I'm at a christening and I was like, well, I might as well do it for the christening. So my nana is going to shave my undercut because look at how ridiculous this is at the moment. It's desperate for a cut. So my nana's going to cut my, shave my head, which I'm very, very excited for. And then I'm going to get rid of all these roots and I'm going to go back to the red head because I'm enjoying it at the moment. Even though I don't know what to do with my hair because it's far too long. C'est la vie. But yeah, so that's kind of everything at the moment. If there's any updates, I will let you know. I should say, to do with Babel, if you're wondering why I'm not giving that many updates about what Babel's about, I've gone into the book blind. I know it's dark academia. I know it's by R F Kuang. And I know it's about Oxford University. When I picked the book up, I didn't even know when it was set. So that was interesting to see. But yeah, I have no clue. I know I've seen the bookmarks that came in the Illumicrate. So I know that that's what the characters look like. But apart from that, I've got no clue. And I really wanted to go into it quite blind because I like to be surprised. And I know dark academia is sometimes a bit hit and missy for me. And I was just like, do you know what? I'm not going to go in with any preconceived notions. I'm just going to go in absolutely blind, figure it out on the way. And so far, I mean, I'm only 20 pages in, but I'm already really enjoying it. R F Kuang's writing style is amazing. I absolutely adore her writing style. I always get really, really confused because she writes these absolutely dark, deep, really, really disturbing worlds and really, really disturbing topics. And she talks about them and all of this. And she looks like the sweetest person on the face of the planet. Like any interview I've seen, she's just the cutest. And all I can think is, where have you hidden the bodies? No, I'm joking. Yeah, no, she seems like the sweetest person. And I don't know where you get that darkness from to become that adorably cute. But yeah, I'm going to go and eat my tea because I am starving. I have halloumi and corn chicken pesto pasta, which would be nice. So I'm going to do that. And yeah, I might watch some of season 3 of Stranger Things. I've only watched that season once. And I skipped it on my rewatch because I was rewatching everything. And then I started writing fan fiction for season 4. So I was like, I need to get into season 4. So I stopped my rewatch. And yeah. Anyway, bye guys. I'm going to go into a rant first. Hi guys. I'm going to rant about my car because I took it in yesterday to get a wheel bearing fixed. And I knew it wasn't just a wheel bearing. Just knew. But didn't think anything, didn't say anything. I said that they'd said about the power steering that it was making a funny noise. And I was like, I don't think it's just the noise. It felt very jittery. It didn't feel right. But I don't know cars, so I was like, oh, it's fine. Went to pick my car up today. And the first thing the guy says to me is, we found more things wrong with your car. And I was like, great, more money needs to get pulled out. So we went and served some other people. And then he came back to me and I went into his office and he basically said that the power steering has a leak and it has to come from the manufacturer. So he's going to price it up, see how much it is, and then if it's a certain amount, he will get it ordered for me, the parts ordered for me, and get it sorted. And he was like, do you want to take it now? And I was like, well, I'm supposed to be going to York in a week. And he was like, well, I was like, I'm supposed to be driving down to York, so how long is it going to take? And he was like, well, when are you driving to York? And I was like, next Wednesday. So like, I need it as soon as possible, really. And he was like, to be honest, I don't think it's safe for you to drive, because if the fluid keeps on pouring out at the rate that it can, it's going to mess up the power steering properly, and then it's going to be about £1,000 worth of work. And I was like, yeah, no, I don't want to pay £1,000 to own my car. I love my car. I really love my car. But I don't love my car that much that I would pay like £1,000. If it's less than £1,000, I feel all right paying for it. But like, I've had this car for 9 years. I could easily get a new car. So I'm very frustrated. I'm very sweaty because I've been here, there, and everywhere. But we're not going to talk about that. I mean, we are going to talk about that, because if my car isn't fixed by the Wednesday, I'm doing this vlog for absolutely no reason, and I'm not going to be able to go and see R F Kuang, which I'm very, very sad about. Though, to be fair, what I will do is I'll just book a train ticket and I will book a hotel. But that's like money I don't really want to spend. But let's get on with the actual update of the reading, because I've read quite a lot today. I finished The Burning God yesterday. I didn't finish it, but I finished on page 61. So I'd read like 60 pages, which I was quite happy with. I'm now on to page 195. That it flew. I could not stop reading this morning. It's really good. I'm really enjoying it. It did almost make me cry, but I was at work, so I had to hold it in. But I'm really, really enjoying The Burning God. And then I'm reading Babel, whatever you want to call it. I know that people call it different things. And I only got up to page 55 yesterday, so I'm not very far in. I wasn't very far in at all. And then I read a little bit more on my dinner, and I got to page 68, so I'm now into chapter 4. And I'm really, really enjoying this. I am reading this a lot slower, because I want to understand the world. And not that I don't want to understand the world of the Poppy War, but I kind of understand what's going on in the Poppy War. And because I read so much high fantasy, it's very easy for me to just kind of like speed through it. It's like, yeah, I know what's going on. This is happening. Great, champion, fine. I can read that. It is also on my Kindle, and I read faster on my Kindle anyway. But Babel, because it's a world similar to what I know, but very, very different to what I know. And there's so much intricacies in the world and in the politics and in the everything. I have been just reading it at my own pace, reading it very, very slow. I think I was on a sprint last night with Tori, and in a 45-minute sprint I can usually read about 60 pages, and I only read like 29, so I'm very, very slow at reading at the moment. But I really, really like it. I hope I can get them finished by Wednesday. Good news is, if I can't get them finished by Wednesday, I've potentially got a train ride to get down there, so that'll at least give me a little bit of time to read. But no, I think this is going to be a very, very good book to read this year. I think this is going to be high on my list, because I'm really, really enjoying it so far. I love Rami. Rami is so cute. I hope I'm saying that right. Rami's adorable. I love how innocent Robin is. It's very interesting to see the differences between Rin and Robin, because Rin was very, very much didn't care what anyone thought, or did things by the way she wanted them doing, whereas Robin is very much like, I want to sink into the background. I don't want anyone to know who I am. I don't want anyone to notice me. I just want to get through life. And it's very, very interesting to see the two dynamics, especially because I'm reading them side by side. That was very, very quick talking. I do apologise. But yeah, I think this is very, very interesting. I'm very curious. I'm very nervous about where the burning god's going to go, because I just finished part 1, which if you don't know and you've gotten this far into the vlog, please stop, because there's been millions of spoilers, and yeah, I don't want to spoil anyone, but Rin got betrayed, kind of. I don't know if she actually did. And then the Empress, who's not the Empress anymore, is there, and she's saying that Rin has her powers when she doesn't, and Rin doesn't have her powers because Kate is gone, and we don't know where he is. Well, we know where he is because Nez has got him. And I'm just, and then she's been horrible to Venka, because Venka doesn't understand that if Kate's gone, that Rin's potentially going to die. And how is she why doesn't she have her powers? So I'm kind of at that awkward point where I'm like, I don't want to read much more of this book because I'm very, very scared of what's going to happen. If anyone dies, I'm going to cry. And I don't know about the rebel lead guy, whose name I still can't remember. Soja? Again, I'm probably not saying that correctly, and I do apologise. I should have looked up a pronunciation guide. That's entirely on me. But he kind of betrayed Rin, but kind of didn't. Or did he? We don't know. I don't understand what's going on at all. And I'm very, very stressed. And I just want them all to be okay. Which is really sad. But yeah, I am going to be watching Lisa's sprints tonight, because it is Tuesday. And Tuesday sprints are the thing that I live for. I'm not going to lie, I absolutely adore Lisa's sprints. So I'm going to watch Lisa's sprints tonight and hopefully get a good chunk of this read. I think I'm going to stop with The Burning God for a little while, because I've already read so much of it that I think I can just kind of leave it for now and just kind of be like, yeah, cool. If I can get to about page 110 today. Okay, so if I get to page 120, I'm up to chapter 7. These chapters are very long. That's my only gripe with this. But yeah, if I can get to page 120, I'm up to chapter 7. And that'll be a nice stopping point. So I'm hoping to get to there today, which is only like 50 pages. So that's doable. I can probably get more done. I might try and get some more done, because yeah, I've read about 120-30 pages over the 2 books. And I only wanted to get to 110, but I want to give myself as much leeway as I can, especially with the fact that I don't know what's happening on Wednesday. I want to ensure with it I don't have to. I'm trying to think of how to explain it. If Wednesday comes and I don't have anything to read, that would be ideal, because I don't know how much time I'm going to have on Wednesday. Whereas obviously these days I've got more time. The only things I'm doing on Saturday is I'm getting my hair cut and I'm getting my hair dyed. My rehearsals for tomorrow are cancelled, so I've only got rehearsals for Thursday. And then I've got nothing. I've got christening on Sunday, so I'm probably going to film a bit because I'll have makeup on and might as well. And then apart from that, I have Monday off, but I don't have anything on. So Monday might be a good day to do a reading day. Oh, and Rose Patreon, because she is turning, oh no, that's next week. Might be this week. I don't know. I know that she wants to do a 24-hour, 48-hour read-along or readathon type thing. So she does that, and it is in the time that it is. I will be doing that. But I've already rambled for 12 minutes and I have food in, and I need to go and cook my pasta because I've only got my meatballs in. I do not have my pasta on or like a sauce, so I should probably go and do that. So I'll talk to you guys later, potentially, probably tomorrow, because it's starting to get dark and I still haven't got a light for this room yet, which ain't ideal. Anyway, hi guys, this is Wednesday's update. I will let you know how I got on with yesterday's pages, and then I'll tell you what I've read today so far. I read no more of The Burning God yesterday because I kind of got sucked into Babel, I got sucked into other things, but yeah, so I stayed at like 195 up until I read some today. I am now up to page 264, so we're getting good progress. It's really starting to suck me in now. There's some absolutely brilliant lines in it. It's made me almost cry a few times. I'm at the point where they've just got Kate out of prison, and quite frankly, when Rin started to feel him near her, and her words were something along the lines of, it's like I'm whole again, I almost cried. And then when she found him and he basically said, oh, it was like a bucket of cold water being thrown over me, best feeling in the world, I almost cried again, because I love them so much. I love the fact that they are like blatantly, they've been like siblings from the beginning, but I adore their little, I adore their everything. I don't know, I can't explain it. I just absolutely adore them. I think I'm probably going to read a bit more of that today, instead of jumping onto Babel, because yeah, so I got to chapter 5, which is 93 pages in, and I'm at the start of book 2. So I finished one book of it, and I adore it. I do, genuinely. I'm loving the characters. I'm loving what's going on. It's very cute. It's very sweet. It's very intriguing. I'm very curious. I also love the looks and the prejudice in it, the racism in it. I don't like the racism. It makes me sad, but it's done very well. It's done very beautifully. And the sexism is also done very beautifully. I adore her writing. I always have. I probably always will. But I love this book. But The Burning God has me by the throat at the moment. I absolutely adore it. I think it's so good. I want to know what happens. It's so interesting, and the humour. I will say, the humour in the Poppy War trilogy is better, in my opinion, than the humour in Babel. And I think it's better than in Babel because in Babel they are trying to be Oxford men. So it's very like dry humour, like, but very droll, and it's not my cup of tea. Whereas in the Poppy War, it's just friends chatting shit, is the only way I can describe it. I absolutely adore it. The way that they all just you can just tell that they've been together through some shit, and they just absolutely adore being together and just talking shit to each other. I absolutely love it. One of my favourite lines so far has definitely got to be the Empress and I can't remember his name, but the tutor that Rin has. They've met again. She's released him from the mountain. Rin got put in the mountain for a bit. That was terrifying. And yeah, so they released him from the mountain, and he is now on their little journey with them, and it's great. And him and Daji are talking, and he goes, oh, like, Nez's brother, like, what's he been up to? He was a little shit when he was at the school. And Daji just out of, like, just really casually goes, well, he got a bit too big for his boots. So I made him into mincemeat and put him in dumplings, and I was like, I forgot that happened. And then he's just like, darling, you fucking what? And I'm like, that's it. I don't know why, but that just gave me so much joy. That little thing together just gave me so much joy. But yeah, so I will be continuing with Babel, but right now I want to read The Burning God. I want to at least get in, like, halfway through The Burning God. I want to see what happens. I'm desperate to get that, to finish that. And don't get me wrong, I keep on saying, like, I just feel as if because I've had 3 books to grow with these characters and stuff like that, I'm more invested in their story right now. This book, I'm going to be invested in their story very, very soon. I already love it. I need to know what happens. I need to know what happens. And I have been warned by Chloe not to read the last couple hundred pages until, like, if I'm at work. So I'm at work tomorrow and Friday. So if I can get as much read as humanly possible tonight, I'm at rehearsal tomorrow, so I can't do that. Maybe Friday. And then I've got a 3-day weekend. I should be able to finish The Burning God. I hope I can finish it. If I can, ideally, if I could get The Burning God finished by Friday and then give myself this entire weekend to read Babel, that would be even more ideal. But we will see. Yeah, I have been told that, I got told last night that Chloe is going to be in this vlog at some point because we are meeting up when we go to see R F Kuang down York. And she said, I don't have a say in this, so you'll be seeing Chloe. But yeah, everyone seemed excited that I said that I was starting this, which I love. I just want to say this, like, this is halfway through the vlog, probably like more than halfway through the vlog, and most people won't have watched it because they will have fucking not been watching it because of spoilers, which, fair play. Also, again, piss off if you're not read it because spoilers. But I adore those girls so much. Like, all of the girls that I met at York, and all of the people on Lisa's sprints and Catherine's sprints and Becca's sprints, everyone is so welcoming, and I don't know how to describe it. I just feel like, it sounds dumb, but I feel like I've got friends, and it's just really nice. It's very, very nice. So I'm very excited to continue. And like I said, I think I'm going to try and get more of The Burning God done. If I could even finish that today, which I really highly doubt because I've got more than half a book to read. But if I could finish the majority of it. It's 5 o'clock now, so I've got about 5 hours before I go to bed. We'll see. It's not going to happen, but it's nice to think that I could potentially do it. But yeah, I will update again. If I've got any more big updates today, I will try and update. But if I don't, I will update you guys tomorrow. Hello, it's Thursday. I read quite a bit yesterday. I think I started at 195 and I got to 408. So I read roughly about 210 pages. And I stopped. I can't even remember where I finished yesterday, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I'm really, really enjoying The Dragon Republic. I've not read any more of Babel. I'm sick of figuring out what it is. But yeah, no, I didn't finish any more of that because I'm so invested in The Dragon Republic that I just want to finish that. So today I got to page 466. I got finished from work about an hour and a half ago, drove home, The drive home was longer than expected because there was lots of lovely tractors. I've had tea. I've made dinner for work tomorrow. And I've scrolled on TikTok a bit. I have rehearsals in 2 hours. So I don't think I'm going to get that much more read, which is fine. But I'm going to try and get like if I can get to page 500, I'll be happy. And then, yeah. If I can't get to page 500, that's also fine though, to be fair. Because I am quite a way ahead. I've been doing really well though, because I kind of figured it out, and I've gone from having 1,800 pages to having like 700, I think. Roughly. Less than. Got about 170 of the Burning God. I think I've been calling it the Dragon Republic. It's not the Dragon Republic, I'm reading the Burning God. Yeah, I've got about 170-ish pages left of the Burning God. And then I have about 440 of Babel. I think I'm doing very well, as you can tell. I think I should be able to finish, if I have time once I come back from rehearsals tonight, if I get about an hour or so of reading done today, like before rehearsals, and then I get an hour or so after rehearsals, which might be a push because we finish rehearsals at 9:30, and usually I like to like wind down a bit before I go to bed, which usually involves TikTok. But if I can get like a couple of hours in, I might be able to get another 100 pages read, which would be nice. And then Ro is doing Patreon sprints tomorrow, and then she's doing 2 different Patreon sprints on Saturday. Yeah, I think that if Venka died, I would be so distraught because she's gone through so much already. Not that Rin hasn't, but Rin managed to gain her power back and has been able to essentially avenge everyone who's wronged her, more or less. Whereas Venka, it's really interesting to see the 2 different dynamics between Venka and Rin, because the balance of their powers is constantly like kind of shifting, and it's interesting to see how 2 women who are seen as lesser because they're women rose in their station and managed to do things that they could, and the expectation for Rin to fail more because she was lowborn and a peasant and had to work hard for it. Whereas Venka, though she still had to work hard because she was a woman, she always had the fallback of being aristocracy. Whereas obviously Rin doesn't. And then like the fact that they keep on going like up and down and stuff like that. It's very, very interesting. It's played very, very beautifully. But yeah, I'm going to stop talking about this because I think I'm just kind of rambling at this point. But yeah, I'm going to go and have a bath because I love a bath. I think that's it. Bye guys. Hi there. I'm very sweaty because it's been a day and a half. So I apologise. I am in pyjamas. I am going to be sitting in pyjamas for the rest of, well, not the rest of the weekend because I've got a christening on Sunday, but at least today and tomorrow I'm going to be stuck in the house. So that's fun. So update for those who want to know. My car is still broken. They cannot get the parts from the manufacturer isn't getting back in contact with them. So at the moment, we are just waiting for the manufacturer to get back to my garage and be like, hey, these are the parts you need. So up until now, I do not have a car. I'm still driving my nana's, and she said I can borrow it next week, which is great. But the issue is, she has had to borrow it back because her partner has COVID. So she has to go out and do shopping because obviously she can now because of COVID rules. But he obviously can't, so he can't go out. His car's died. His car battery died, so my nana is currently, in case she needs to go to the shops or in case she needs to go here or there, she's had to get the car back. So I dropped the car at my nana's, which is only like a 10-15 minute walk from here. So I dropped my car back at my nana's house, and she now has that, and then I walked along. As you can tell, because I have like 18 minutes of exercise, which I never do. But yeah, so that's fun. It's rather frustrating, but you know, what can you do? So I was going to get my hair shaved by my nana. Obviously I can't do that anymore. I was going to dye my hair. I completely forgot to buy hair dye this afternoon after work. And now I can't leave the house and get a big shopping because I don't have a car. I hate this. So I'm going to have to just kind of make do. The good news is I wanted it done for the wedding, which is not Tuesday coming the Tuesday after. And I was just going to do it for the christening. But because it's just a not that it's just a christening, but because it's not like a wedding, I'm not as concerned if my hair isn't dyed. I will just wear it down, and it's not too bad. I mean, it is in this light, but my roots aren't horrendous. They're just a little bit bad, and once it's down and all nice, you probably won't be able to notice, I hope. But yeah, so that's fun. It is almost 6:30, which means that it is almost time for the 24-hour readathon that Ro is doing with her Patreon, because it is a full year since she got a Patreon, and yay. I subscribe to Ro's Patreon. I love it. There's some lovely people. I wouldn't have met all the people I've met without it. I wouldn't have gone to Yalk if it hadn't been for Ro's Patreon, if I'm being perfectly honest. Or if I had, I wouldn't have had as good a time as I did. So that's nice. She's doing that, so I'm going to try and read as much as possible. I have 99 pages left of The Burning God. Everything's kicked off, but at the same time, nothing's really kicked off. So everything's happening, but nothing's concluded. I'm slightly concerned, I'm not going to lie. This sun's very bright, I don't know if you can tell. Everything's like really started to go quite bad, but then it kind of resolved. And now I don't know what's going on. And I don't trust it. I messaged Chloe about it. And I said, everything seems to have kind of calmed down and I don't trust it, because I don't trust that this book's going to end happily ever after. And we've still got like 100 pages left. It can't be... What we're going to wrap up in 100 pages. That's just like, oh, everyone decided just to put their fucking swords down and stop calling the gods and this, that and the other. Yeah, so I'm concerned about that, but I think I should be able to finish that today, which is nice. And then I am on chapter 6, which is page 104 of Babel. I'm showing you the pretty again because it's absolutely stunning. But yeah, so that's that far in. I actually started using the Babel bookmarks as well, because it did have a different one in, and because I'd lost them and then I found them, so I was like, oh cool, I'll just use that. But I'm really enjoying it. I'm actually really surprised how much I'm enjoying it, because it feels very much like in the vein of the Night Circus and like those type of books. And with those type of books, I always tend to enjoy them but I don't love them. And I just love the way that R F Kuang writes her characters in this. I think there's been like 3 or 4 of them where I've just turned around and gone, they're my favourite. No, they're my favourite. No, they're my favourite. So it's going to be interesting. But yeah, I have snacks because what's a readathon without snacks? So I have chocolate and crisps, and I do have some sneaky alcoholic beverages. So I'm just going to kind of sit here and read. And yeah, hopefully it's good. I'm not going to record when I'm reading The Burning God because I have a feeling that I'm going to cry. So yeah, I'm going to just give myself a couple of minutes so that I don't officially start the readathon until past. It is now 6:23. So I'm just going to kind of chill, have a snack, just, you know, have a bit of a relax. Close this window because I'm absolutely blinded. And yeah, I think it feels more like I can do it now. So what I have Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I have 5 days, not including the day, to read about 500 pages. I think I can do this. And especially because now I don't have any reason to leave the house today and tomorrow. Yeah, I think that's plausible. I think that's more than plausible. I think that's doable. So yeah, I think that's it. Hi, sorry for the darkness. I finished The Burning God. I had about 66 pages left in the last sprint that Catherine did, and I just flew through them. I cried, which I guessed. I didn't cry as much as I thought I was going to. I only got like a tear or two. I don't want to say anything. I have to say things. So, going to just what I've just read, Rin went crazy, which I really liked. I think that was one of the best things of the book, was her descent into madness. I'm going to move because it's very, very dark. So yeah, I finished The Burning God. Rin went crazy, which I appreciated. I like the fact that they kind of said, that R F Kuang said, if you call the gods, you go crazy. And Rin hadn't. And Rin stayed focused for a very long time. So the fact that she didn't kind of rescind on that and be like, oh, I'm the only one who doesn't, I really, really appreciated. She believed Venka had betrayed her. We don't know either way if that is true or not. Not really. It broke me. It didn't break me as much as I thought it would, but Venka's death was very sad. It was beautifully done, and it was so bittersweet. And I don't know what to think of it. The thing that made me cry was Rin's realization of what she had to do. Of her like being like, hey, I can't win this. I'm not going to be able to win this because anything that I do is not going to be enough. And the only time it's going to be enough is if I'm the only one standing. And that doesn't serve the world. And then she looks over to our favourite soft boy. And he just agrees with her. And you just know that they're both going to die. It made me sad. It made me sad. In the best way. I think I really enjoyed how the story finished up. I really enjoyed how we got to essentially see how everything was done. I don't know how, I don't have words. I'm still, it's very raw. I think with a story like this, of this great epic military fantasy, there is no way that you would be able to finish this book and just be like, hey, everything's fine, or there is someone who won, or the person who won, you were the one that you were rooting for them the entire time. So because of that, I loved how this story was woven. It was beautifully done. Beautifully done. It still hurts. And of course it does. It's going to hurt. I think the book's going to be a 5-star. And yeah, I will be rereading the series at a later date when I can take my time with it. Because as much as I enjoyed reading it and I loved reading it at such a fast pace, I would love to like sit down and be like, what did I miss the first time? Because I've been speed reading it as much as I can. And sometimes you just kind of miss things. And I think especially for things like this, it's always good to have a reread, because I feel as if you've got a reread of something, you can see things peppered throughout. Like, you can see how it was like, oh, this is predicted by this, and this is predicted by that, or this was foreshadowing. It's beautifully written. It was such a good book. It's made me very, very terribly sad. And now I have to read Babel, or Babel, or whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to go and run myself a nice hot bath. I'm going to get myself another little drink. I've drank 2 of my cans. I've got 2 of the pre-mixed cocktail cans left. I have had chocolate and I've had crisps. I've still got some more of those left. But I think I'm going to go and put the bath on, run myself a nice hot bath and read some Babel, because now I can kind of 100% focus my thoughts and feelings and my time on Babel. And I'm hoping that it won't absolutely destroy me like that ending did. Though, if it doesn't, I'd be highly surprised, because I just feel like she's so good at writing this stuff that, yeah. Good morning, guys. It is about 10:15. I slept in a little today. I usually wake up at 8:30 on a weekend, and I woke up at about 9:30. I'm rather tired, and I plan to sit here for the most of the day and just chill. I do need to go out and grab a few things. My nana has messaged me and she said that they're okay. She's tested negative, so she's going to go to the shops and get a few bits and bobs in, and then she will let me know and I can go and pick up the car should I need to. So I'm going to go and do that. I'm probably going to do it before 5:30, because I need a car adapter for a charge, like a car charger. I need some new iPhone chargers, because I don't know where mine's gone. So that's fun, and I'd rather have a few spare, because I don't actually have any spare at the moment. So I'm going to do that, so I can at least have like one downstairs, one here, one in my bedroom, like that sort of thing, one in the car. And I also want to go get Love on the Brain, because Love on the Brain, and I'm very, very sad that I wasn't able to get it. And I thought I wasn't getting it this weekend, and now I can, so might as well. Raw has Patreon sprints starting at 10, so I thought I'd come in and do this before I jump on them. But yeah, I'm just gonna sit and do some reading. I did not read much of Babel after I finished. I only read like about 6 pages because I just needed to, I think I needed to process what happened in the Burning God. Because I was sat, like the first sprint that we did on Catherine's channel, I sat and I tried to read and I read like a page and a half and I was like, no, this isn't going in. So I just scrolled on TikTok just to kind of like calm myself down and ground myself. And that worked for a bit. And then I read a couple more pages on the next sprint and I was just so tired. And I was like, no, I'm going to go and have an early night. So I had an early night. And I clearly needed it because I'd slept for so long. So there's that. And then I've just woken up and I haven't actually had time to actually read. I'm hoping to get a decent amount read if I can get like a chunk, like at least 100 pages. Rose got 2 sets of sprints on today for the 24-hour readathon. So I'm just going to try and read as much as possible and hope that I can get it finished. Not finished, but like, if I can get like halfway, that would be good. If I can't, I can't. And then, yeah, I think I'm going to get Love on the Brain. I don't know what I'm doing. That's basically it. I still have crisps. I still have chocolate. I might order myself a Starbucks or I might wait. Right. I'm going to go because I've been rambling for a bit. And there's no point. So, yeah. Hello. I've been wildly distracted today. I tried to read. I've only read about 40 pages today in like two hour sprints. So yeah, I mean, I've talked to my nana. I've ordered some stuff for something else that I'm very excited for and other things. But yeah, so I think I'm going to go and have a little bit of a walk. I need to go and pick up my nana's car. I need to go and get a couple of things from Asda. And I think I'm going to go and grab a Starbucks and go to the works because I want to see if they've got Love on the Brain, because I heard someone say that they have Love on the Brain. And if I can get it for cheap, I will get it for cheap. I'm going to go and have a little bit of a walk, listen to some music, kind of reset. And then I'm thinking if I do that, then it's all of the things I need doing done. And then I can just sit and relax. So, watch this space. Hello, this is an update. I'm not as cheerful because things have happened, but it's fine. There was an incident with my car, well, my nana's car. It's fine. Talked to the person. He was fine with it. I've talked to my nana. She was fine with it. I feel a bit like a fool, but still. So I've been a bit upset for the past couple of hours for obvious reasons. And I'm trying to like keep myself calm. So I have some food in. I've been scrolling TikTok. I'm probably going to watch something a bit fun and light. And then I'm going to have a bath, do a bit of reading. Potentially. I'm at the point where I'm like, if I don't want to read, I'm going to kind of let myself off for today. I have 400 pages to read. And I've got today, tomorrow, Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. so it could still get done. Ro is doing more sprints later on today. So if I'm feeling better, I'm gonna like let myself read there. But if I'm not gonna push it. I did get a nice new dress though. I'm gonna try and keep on the positive. My friends are getting married on the 6th of September. Yeah, so I bought myself a nice dress to wear and it arrived today and I tried it on and I actually like how it looks. And I'm not the most confident person, so I don't usually like how things look on me. And I was like, you know what? I don't mind this. It's quite nice. It's a wrap dress. It cost me quite a lot, but it actually feels really, really nice on. And I felt quite pretty. And if I do my hair up nice, and if I do my makeup all nice, I'm sure it'll feel good. So, yeah. But yeah. Bye, guys. Hello. I can't talk for very long because I've only got like 8% battery. However, I put a light in now so I can actually do things when it's like later. So I ended up on Ro's Patreon sprints. I ended up doing the video and was on. So I read a lot more because you read a lot more when you're on camera. I didn't do much in the last sprint and that's Alice's fault because she is a pervert. She's not. I shouldn't say that. But it's a funny joke that I will explain another time, maybe. Maybe not. I'll probably forget by the time that I've got enough battery. But I am now on to page 210 of Babel, which means I've read like 105 pages today. So we're doing well. I'm now that far into it. I'm probably going to continue reading for a little while. Try and get like about halfway through. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's starting to pick up a bit more now. Things are starting to get a bit serious. I hate Professor Lovell. He's awful. He's absolutely awful. Cannot stand that man. But yeah, it's beautifully written. It's really cute. I do sit there and just kind of geek out about all the translation stuff. Like, I'd be terrible at translation. I'm not very good at languages. And even like the scientific version of like English language, I didn't particularly like at university. But the way that R F Kuang writes, it makes it interesting, which is quite fun. But yeah, so I have not like, it's 540 pages. I have like 330 pages left, which isn't too bad. But yeah, I'm going to try and get to at least page 100 and page 250 by tonight. It is 10:30. I usually go to bed roughly around 11:30ish. So I should have some time to do some reading and stuff. But yeah, it's really good. It's really good. Hi guys, it is Sunday. I'm probably not going to update much today because I am at a christening from 12 until whatever time. So I'm probably not going to be in and around much, but that's fine. I have no big updates. I did not end up reading any more last night because I'm talking with Alice a lot and we chatted about absolutely nothing. So yeah, not really much of an update, but yeah, I'm all pretty. So I was like, I'm gonna have to film because I've got all my face done, and when you get your face done, you gotta go on camera. So yeah, I have to go soon because I am picking my friend up to go to the christening, and it's a way away. It's about a half-hour journey to hers, and then it's a half-hour journey back. But yeah, bye guys. Hello, I did not film anymore yesterday. I read about 20 pages and then I went and chilled out. Socialising took a lot out of me. And by the time I got home, I was like, no, I can't be bothered to read. So I have nothing on today. I've gone and gotten shopping in. So my shopping is all done and I don't have any other reason to go out. So I'm going to do what I'm calling a mini read-along or a readathon, and it's essentially I'm just going to try and read for 6 hours. Not totally, but just like I'm giving myself 6 hours to do some intense reading. Lisa has sprints at 2, so I'm going to watch them. But I'm going to start reading now to try and get another like 40 pages, because it is currently 12:30. So I'm going to read roughly till about 6:30, and then I'm going to kind of get myself all sorted and like get ready for work tomorrow, make some dinner, that type of stuff. But yeah, I'm just going to kind of relax, do some reading, and yeah, I want to get about 200 pages done today, because, which I'm not being funny, I think that if I start reading it and I get into it, I may finish this today. But yeah, if I can get to here, I'll be happy, because I have so much to do tomorrow and I don't really want to read on Wednesday. So I'm going to try and speed up a bit and try and get it read. Let's hope I can do it. Hello. So it is 20 to 9, and I am now up to page 412. Now, I said I would like to get to page 433. However, shit's gone down, like, aggressively. So, in the past 200 pages, I don't know whether or not Robin had decided he wasn't going to be in the Hermes Society or not, but he was no longer in the Hermes Society. We then found out that Victoire and Rami got caught because they were in the Hermes Society, but no one knew. So they got caught, and then Robin was like, I'll just take the fall for it. So he took the fall for it. Lavelle called him out for it. So Lavelle was not happy with him. Then they all went to Canton, for obvious, because things were going down pretty badly. Letty was pissing me off. I'm not gonna lie. She's just a pain in the ass character. Letty pissed me off, but I just kind of ignored that. Then Lavelle was there. Robin didn't like things that were being said. One of the representatives in Canton was like, oh, what do you think about this? And Robin told the truth. He didn't say anything bad. He didn't say anything good, but he basically said, look, they're not going to give you what you want. So shit went down there. And then Lavelle wasn't happy because he's a dickhead and stuff like that. I understand why he wasn't happy, but at the same time, like, I don't agree with anything that he stands for at all. So yeah, Robin was like, no, you're shit. He actually stood up for himself. It was really, really good. And then he killed Lavelle. So then all 4 of them decided to cover that up. Which, yeah, fair play. Very, very appreciative of that. Then Letty found out everything was going on with the Hermes Society. And it just fucking spiraled into absolute fucking chaos. Absolute chaos. And yeah. So now they were seeking refuge from the Hermes Society, and Letty was like, I need some air, and I was like, I don't trust this fucking, nah, don't trust it. She's been acting cagey for ages. Why are you trusting this? And she went out for air, and then suddenly, oh, they're getting raided. And then Letty was like, just come quietly. It's fine. Just come quietly. And they didn't, because why would they? And then Rami got shot, and I'm pretty sure he's dead. Yeah, Rami's dead. And I'm very, very sad, because I had put my favourite character as the bookmark, and now he's dead. So that's very sad. I didn't cry. I'm surprised I didn't cry, but I think I was just a bit overwhelmed. And then the sprint's finished, and I was like, oh, I have to actually go back and like talk. So I did chatty bits and talked about knitting. But yeah, so I'm up to chapter 24, and I usually go to bed about 11:30, so I might be able to finish it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go get a little bit of a snack. I'm going to bring it up here, have the snack, and do a bit more reading. See if I can get to the end of it. Because I don't want to take it to work. I don't want to take it to work. I feel as if I take it to work and something bad happens, I'm going to look at like an idiot at work. And also, if I could finish it today, the stress isn't on me tomorrow to finish it. The good news is, even if I don't finish it today, I will be finishing it before I go to York, because there's no way I'm not finishing this tomorrow. Yeah, I have a feeling that I'm going to finish this. There are a few things that have kind of stuck with me more in this book. One of them was Letty finding out about all of the things that was going on with Victoire and Rami. We know that Robin can kind of get away with it a little bit more because even though he is Chinese, he looks more English. He's paler, so he gets away with a lot more than the other two do. But the way that Victoire was like, "Oh, our landlady doesn't let me use the inside toilet because I'm black," and Letty being like, "I didn't even notice." And there was a moment where Victoire was talking about how one of the things that Babel do is reinforced irons with the silver working. And Letty's like, well, we abolished slavery. We abolished slavery. It's fine. And she was like, but we didn't really. And they are still selling to America and they haven't abolished slavery. And I think it's one of those things of, and it's incredibly ignorant of me to admit this, because like, I never even thought about stuff like that. I never thought that even though the English and the British may have stopped slavery, that we could have had a hand in keeping things with America and trading things with America. And it's books like this that I think are amazing and incredible to highlight that stuff, because I don't think about it. And with Letty and the landlady thing, that hit me more because it's like, how many things do I just not notice because I have the privilege, the I have white privilege. I can't say anything else. But it is one of those things of, it really, really highlights what we get in society and how utterly fucked the system's been for so long, and it still is. I'm not saying it's not, but I absolutely adore reading books like this, because I think it is such a way to spell out everything and spell out the racism that has been in this world. The amount of times that they refer to Chinamen with slurs, that I knew a lot of people in secondary school, so like 15 years ago, still using that word as a slur. But I didn't know it was a slur, so I didn't know there was anything wrong with it. I've learned since then, and I don't ever use that word, which is why I'm not saying it, because it's not my place to say. But it's awful. It's really awful. And the scene where they get invited to the ball and everyone's like, no, we don't want to go. And he's like, no, you have to. It's amazing. It's great. It's amazing. And I just sat there and I was like, she's white. She doesn't have to deal with anything like this. She's used to the privilege and she's used to everything being perfect for her. She's not used to what it could be, what Victoire has to deal with, what Rami has to deal with, even what Robin has to deal with in some circumstances. And it kind of just, it really hit me that it's like, it was such a dynamic that I hate reading about it because it makes me so sad and so angry. But it's something that I'm just like, I'm really, really fortunate that I can read it and go, this is an injustice and this is something that we need to work on, and it builds my thoughts and feelings about stuff. But as it continued, and when the men surrounded the two of them and asked, do they look the same, referring to rather unsavory things, it was a bit gross. It wasn't great. And I think that's one of the things R F Kuang really, really does well. Not just the racism, because the racism she does, not the, like, portraying the racism and shedding light on it, I think she does phenomenally well. But also how she discusses gender inequality in it as well. So the girls, when they go into Canton, have to pretend to be boys again. And they're like, but it's ridiculous. And they're like, well, that's the rules. And it's like, why is that a rule? And the fact that, like, the men are all like, oh, well, of course we know who you are. You're the female scholars from Babel. Like, how would we not know who you are? And it just feels so fake and false. And it's just so sad. But I feel as if books like this, even if they're hard, they are very worth reading, because I think it is such a way to spell out everything and spell out the racism that has been in this world. The amount of times that they refer to Chinamen with slurs, that I knew a lot of people in secondary school, so like 15 years ago, still using that word as a slur. But I didn't know it was a slur, so I didn't know there was anything wrong with it. I've learned since then, and I don't ever use that word, which is why I'm not saying it, because it's not my place to say. But it's awful. It's really awful. And the scene where they get invited to the ball and everyone's like, no, we don't want to go. And he's like, no, you have to. It's amazing. It's great. It's amazing. And I just sat there and I was like, she's white. She doesn't have to deal with anything like this. She's used to the privilege, and she's used to everything being perfect for her. She's not used to what it could be, what Victoire has to deal with, what Rami has to deal with, even what Robin has to deal with in some circumstances. And it kind of just, it really hit me that it's like, it was such a dynamic that I hate reading about it because it makes me so sad and so angry. But it's something that I'm just like, I'm really, really fortunate that I can read it and go, this is an injustice and this is something that we need to work on, and it builds my thoughts and feelings about stuff. But as it continued, and when the men surrounded the two of them and asked, do they look the same, referring to rather unsavory things, it was a bit gross. It wasn't great. And I think that's one of the things R F Kuang really, really does well. Not just the racism, because the racism she does, not the, like, portraying the racism and shedding light on it, I think she does phenomenally well. But also how she discusses gender inequality in it as well. So the girls, when they go into Canton, have to pretend to be boys again. And they're like, but it's ridiculous. And they're like, well, that's the rules. And it's like, why is that a rule? And the fact that, like, the men are all like, oh, well, of course we know who you are. You're the female scholars from Babel. Like, how would we not know who you are? And it just feels so fake and false. and it's just so sad. But I feel as if books like this, even if they're hard, they are very worth reading. I feel like any book that covers this topic is important. I think if a book can tell a story that weaves an interesting world and tackles the topic as well, it's always going to be very, very interesting to me. The Poppy War was phenomenal at explaining such a historical event in a fantasy style way, while also tackling what did happen in, like, with the idea of how other nations viewed China and stuff like that. And it's the same with Babel. Babel is phenomenal at taking this, what you think is just like quite a, I don't even want to say quite a simple story, because I knew it was going in that it would have these types of elements and explaining about the racism, especially when it's a Chinese American author who is so invested in history. I feel as though that's always going to shine through. But the way that she does it, honestly, if you had one person turn around to me and say, I liked Lavelle in this, you're completely taking the wrong side. And you can tell that. Anyone who has an ethical or moral compass should be able to read this book and be like, hey, we know the clear cut what's good and what's bad. And it makes me hate my nation, as per usual. We did some really, really shitty things in the past. And I never understand the sense of pride for our country. And we are British and we are English when we don't get a choice in where we're born. We don't get a choice of what colour our skin is. We don't get a choice in what religion we're born into. If we're born into a religion, we don't get the choice in that. We are born by pure bloody luck. And it's always confused me as to why it's such a badge of honour to be white. Because I've the amount of things that we've done in this world is despicable. Absolutely despicable. And some of the things we're still doing in this world is despicable. But yeah, I'm going to stop talking because I've been talking for 17 minutes and I want to get as much of this finished as possible. But this is already going to be a 5 stars. Unless something drastic happens at the end of this book, I do not think this will be anything less than a 5 stars. It's phenomenal. And Chloe was entirely right. I totally understand why she's taken such an impact from this book. I'm just blown away by R F Kuang's writing. I'm really blown away by R F Kuang's writing. Not that I wasn't before, because I adored the Poppy War and I'd adored the Dragon Republic. But rereading the Dragon Republic and then reading The Burning God, I was like, no, I totally have... I've refound my love for it. And reading Babel, it's just... I think R F Kuang is going to be one of my favourite writers of all time. No questions asked. No questions asked. Anything she brings out, I'm going to be reading. She's an autobi author at this point. And I cannot wait to go and see her panel because she is such an intelligent human and she seems absolutely incredible. But yeah, I'm going to go and I'm going to go and I've got some fancy sourdough. So I'm going to have some fancy sourdough. I'm going to have a nice glass of wine because I'm stressed. And yeah, I'm going to come back up and I'm going to read. I might record a bit more for like B footage and just do a time lapse of me reading the last 100 or so pages. But that very much depends on if my camera holds out. Hello! I have read another 50 or so pages. I am 55 pages away from finishing. It's probably actually about 80 pages. And I wanted to talk about this because it was in my head and I need to talk about it. I'm very warm right now. I don't know why. But I also had a bit of wine. So I'm a little bit more easy talking. Easy talking. Wow, I'm already sounding fantastic. I've read everything going on with they've taken over the tower. They got everyone out who didn't want to be there, and they're all kind of waiting, and the world is crumbling around them. And that's not really what I want to talk about, because that's interesting and that's fabulous, and I'm really, really happy that they're doing that. The issue is that's not the most interesting thing to me. It's interesting, I'm not saying it's not, but what's interesting is I came on here and I started talking about how Letty was frustrating and how she wasn't paying attention and she didn't care, and she was like, it felt like it was inevitable that she was going to betray them. And then R F Kuang has wrote this very, very small scene, this like tiny chapter, just kind of going what goes through Letty's head, what happened with her brother, what happened with her father, how she always felt so privileged to be in Oxford and be in Babel and all of this, and how she saw her friends going down the same path as her brother, and that was why she was like getting more and more frustrated, because everything she was doing to help her and her friends. She didn't see how it was hindering them, because they had the golden ticket. In obviously they don't say that because Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is not a reference, but essentially what it is they've got the golden ticket to be able to go through it and to be able to have access to all of this stuff that a lot of people don't have access to and aren't privileged enough to have and to own. And she brings up this really, really interesting thought of like how she understands just how much privilege she has being there and how they should have the same privilege. Now, I 100% don't agree. I think it's very, very easy for a person who is white, as a woman, to be able to go, well, I'm a woman, so I'm oppressed. Therefore, anything that you tell me is wrong because I'm oppressed too. And we are being given the same treatment. Because at the end of the day, I can feel oppression as a woman. I cannot feel oppression as a black person or Chinese or any Asian or anything like that. I can't feel that because I'm not that. And it's that sliding scale of you've got like a cis white man, a cis straight white man, and then you have like a white gay man, and then you have a black straight man, and like etc etc. And it's this very sliding scale of not even that. It's, I'm gonna cut that out because that was wrong. It's that sliding scale of you have people like white straight men at the top, and then every person going down is cut on privileges. But because I'm white, because Letty's white, we have so much, we gain so much more. And she never learns that. She never bothers to learn that. Which I think that's what's frustrating, is she talks about how her friends are condescending and talking down to her about everything, and how they're not, they talk to her like she's a child about all of this stuff that's going on. And I honestly believe that she thinks she's doing the right thing. But I think it's one of those things of the same with anything, of any form of racism, is if you're being told something's happening and you are white and you do not feel that oppression, sit back and don't try and talk over people. Because at the end of the day, we've got I don't know how it feels. Like, yeah, I know the oppressions of being a woman. I said the wrong thing once because I misunderstood someone at my old job at Asda, and he turned around to one of the blokes I worked with and said they should just get all women fucking muzzles. So I've dealt with stuff like that. But at the same time, I have no context of how it feels to be a victim of racism. So if someone tells me something like this, you just kind of go, yeah, cool, I'll listen to your perspective. I won't talk over you. I will try and amplify your voice. And it's really frustrating because Letty is a character of her time. And I understand that. You kind of just sit there and hope that she would go, well, these are my friends and this is more important. And she doesn't. And she goes the complete opposite, and she ends up killing one of her friends. And it's very sad. But the chapter with her thoughts and feelings in it helped to kind of sit there and go, okay, I understand what she's dealing with, and I still don't agree, and that's fine. But yeah, so I have another 50 pages to go, and it is 25 to 11, so likely I'm going to finish this in time. I am going to go off now though, because I've been talking for a while, and yeah, like I said, it is 25 to 11, and I want to go to sleep at some point. And I think I'm going to want to read some fan fiction before I go to sleep. And I also have to pick a book out to take to work tomorrow. And I have no clue what I want, because I have so many books and so little time. Because I'm definitely finishing this today. Definitely finishing it today. But yeah, I will come with my final rating and my final thoughts and feelings on it once I have finished. Because yeah, I'm at page 487, so it's literally like finishing it up. I'm really, really proud of myself for finishing it today though. Like, I haven't yet, but I'm going to finish it today. And I like how I've read a considerable amount today, and I've actually set out and done what I anticipated to do. And I will have finished it by Wednesday. So yeah, it does feel like a Sunday though, and I feel like it's a Sunday. And I keep on getting confused. It's really, really funny. Becca posted her weekly reading vlog, and I sat there and I was like, why is she posting it? It's Sunday. She's posted on a Monday. And I went, no, you fucking idiot. It is Monday. So yeah, gonna finish this. Then I'm gonna read some fan fiction, and then I'm gonna go to bed because it is late. And yeah, I finished it. It is 21 minutes past 11. And it was a very sad ending. Slightly hopeful. R F Kuang really likes these. There's nothing else we can do, so we're just gonna essentially do what we have to, even if it means taking our own life from the main character. She did it at the end of Burning Garden, she did it at the end of this one. And while I appreciate it, and I appreciate the truth behind it, I want a happy ending for some of these characters. I would love nothing more than to be able to sit there and be like, okay, they're going to be okay. But they're not. I'm going to give this 5 stars. This is going to be one of my favourite books of the year. I can already tell you that now. The way this story was written was stunning. There's some amazing quotes. It's very linguistic, it's very beautiful and lyrical, but it's invested in that science and that history and all of these things that just kind of make you feel very nerdy if you're into it. As someone who did literature and creative writing at university and did a master's degree in English studies, it's something very, very, very beautiful to me, and I really, really enjoyed it. It also never shied away from anything difficult, which I really appreciate. It tackled a lot of things to do with racism and sexism and other things, and it just made me feel very, very... It made me feel a lot. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, I really enjoyed it though. It was beautifully done. Like I said, it's definitely going to be a favourite book of mine. And now I've finished it, this is basically done for the reading part of this vlog. So the only thing now left to do is the signing and the talk. So I will be taking some video of me in York. I will be taking some video of me, of the signing if I can. No promises, obviously. If there's no time to take any video, I'm not going to take any video. But if I can take some video, I will be taking that. And yeah. But for now, I've finished all of R F Kuang's books. So 2 days ahead of schedule. I did not think I was going to do it. I'm so proud of myself, I'm not going to lie. But yeah. It's definitely worth a read. Good morning. It is 9:15 and I am going to get ready to go and meet R F Kuang. I'm going to go a lot earlier than what I could be going, mainly because I want to go and explore York a bit, because York's beautiful. Yeah, no, so I'm going to put some makeup on my face. I'm going to make myself look beautiful. And then I'm going to head out and drive. What is this car doing? And yeah, then I'm going to head out and drive to York. Because I might as well. Hello! I have friends! I didn't know I like my friends. I do! I don't know why, I just have them now. I mean, yeah, that's my life. That's what it sounds like. Yeah, Chloe said she was going to be in the vlog, so yeah. And then we have Anna. Yeah, we are early. Very early. But it's fine. That's all I'm going to say. Hello everyone. It is Thursday. It is quite late on Thursday. It is 4:20. I was going to record last night and I fell asleep. I didn't fall asleep. I tried to record in the car and I just could not be bothered. I just wanted my bed. So I went to bed and I was going to film this morning and I tried and it just didn't work. And then I had to go and get some stuff for the grandmother because they are still testing positive. So she has no one. Well, she has other people who could pick things up for her, but I was off work, so she asked me, and obviously I had said yes and went and got some stuff from the shop. I need to get some stuff from the shop anyway, so it worked out. But I went to the signing last night. It was phenomenal. R F Kuang is an amazing speaker. She was so fun. She was so funny. She also, it was lovely insight into the way her brain works and the way that her writing style is. It was really nice for that. I got another copy of Babel. So I was going to get a copy of the Poppy War trilogy. Unfortunately, they didn't have any available to buy. So I did not end up getting them. So I only got Babel because I didn't take any other books with me. And she signed it. And yeah, so now I have the normal hardback with the black sprayed edges to go with my beautiful ones. And yeah, I did tell her that I'd been, not that I'd been doing this because I was like, I don't want to freak her out, but I basically said, oh yeah, I spent the past like 10 days just binge reading them all. And she was like, why would you do that? And I was like, I don't know, I'm a glutton for punishment. But I said that I absolutely adored them, and I was very, very lucky to have read them, and she was super sweet, super sweet. And yeah, it was a good day. So I have this beautiful copy to go with these beautiful copies, and that is the end of this vlog. Thank you for watching. If you've watched it, if you haven't watched it, you won't be watching this, so you won't know. But I'm excited. I'm going to start doing a weekly reading vlog, I think. Try to at least. And if you have any other suggestions of what I should read, what I should do, what I should think, not what I should think, that's dangerous. Don't ask me, don't tell me what to think. But if you have any other suggestions of what I should be doing with this channel, please feel free to let me know. I know there's a few different read-alongs that I want to participate in, and I'm tempted to do that. But yeah, if you've got any ideas, please let me know down in the comments, and I hope that you have a good day. Bye guys.